Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Part of the Pride and Aston Villa Women podcast. We're here to talk about a win this week. So happy we can finally do that. But of course, I can never do this by myself. I've got a lovely little crew with me this evening. Sophie, it's been a while. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Emma, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I had a mad dash around Tesco at 7:45, but
yeah, you were texting us like, I'm rushing back. I'm stuck behind slow people. I was like, well, come on. The poor for no man.
I'm trying my hardest.
And you got back. It's all good. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. And Tracy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Freya.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Sorry, was that a bit abrupt?
No, it just made us laugh in the best possible way, of course. But of course, we are all here to talk about the win. And of course, our first win under our new manager, Natalia Arroyo, as well. And it had to be against no one else than our old adversaries, Brighton and Hove Albion. So let's get into it, shall we? So it was the same lineup that faced Chelsea. Now, usually we like to see different faces in the cup. But was this the right decision to have a more experienced lineup than maybe some of those other faces starting? Sophie, I'll come to you for that one. Were you happy we put out kind of best squad to get through?
Yeah, especially because Brighton, if it hadn't been another WSL side, I could see the argument for a bit more rotation.
Yeah.
But with them being Brighton, I mean, we lost 4-2 to them earlier in the season, so I think it was important to get the win, especially in the cup competition, and try and get. I mean, realistically, we'll probably won't get relegated, but we're probably not going to be top 5. So a good cup run is probably important at this point.
Yes, absolutely. And as Emily always says, we're going on a cup run. Doesn't matter which cup we're going. That's our shot, isn't it? That is our shot. However, when we all got there and the cameras panned round, the pitch wasn't exactly the best, was it? Tracy, what did you think of the pitch when you saw it? It didn't look good, did it?
It was shocking. Yeah, really, really bad. And I didn't notice any groundsmen out like there normally are. There's normally you guys with chalk.
No, there wasn't.
Did it?
So I'm not sure whether they're kind of maintaining it that well, for like Warsaw games and stuff. Because it was shocking, and it did. Yeah, sorry, Freya, it did affect the game. People were slipping all over the place. So yeah.
Yeah, and it just felt
Not
like.
good.
No, it felt like as well for the players quite frustrating because the ball wasn't zipping as quickly, was it? And it was quite a hard slog. It looked like, and that was just from watching at home. So God knows what
that could be seen. I mean, you could argue the fact that Brighton's first goal was as a result of the fact that the pitch wasn't moving the ball as quick as it should have been. I mean, it could have been that. Who was it that passed the ball? Was trying to pass the ball to Sabs, but it didn't quite have the momentum to get there.
It was
Lucy Parker. Yeah. I mean, you could argue the fact that she just didn't have enough on it, or it was the pitch, basically. But yeah.
Let's go for the pitch. Why not?
Yes, I'd say it was the pitch.
The pitch. Now that we've got used to playing at now that we're playing at Villa Park regularly, I think playing that best spot for the cup games is less of an advantage because we're not used to. The team isn't used to playing on
a rubbish pitch,
on such a
pitch anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing because maybe when that was our stadium, we had that bit more of a home advantage, didn't we? As we see when people go to play Durham at Maiden Castle, they've got the advantage on that surface. Emily in the chat, good evening, and good evening to Nick as well. Emily's convinced we're going to Wembley. She's sealed, signed, sorted. Just got to get through the next round and a few more, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it because Emily says so. Now, so it was a bit like a slip and slide, wasn't it, on that pitch? Now, it's something easy for Brighton. We know that. However, in the first half, Villa did create more of the clear-cut chances. But ultimately, we'll talk about the goals in a second, but Lindsay, up until that point, it kind of seemed a bit destined to be like, oh, no one's scoring. Is this going to be the usual end of a penalty? So up until the goals, let's say, how are you feeling up until that point?
I was excited by the way that we were playing. I know, like, the stats didn't have a true reflection of how, like, we were working the ball and everything. But it did feel like it was going to be a 0-0 and go to penalties, and it was going to be one of these things where it was just going to be like pulling teeth. Pretty much nervous.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, definitely. Because Emma, you were there, weren't you? Now there was almost a penalty shout, which there was a rousing chorus of VAR, my lord, as it came through. Emma, do you remember that penalty shout? Was there much in it?
I mean, there was loads of penalty shouts, so I think there could have been like 3. The first penalty shout I've got, like, I thought it was a bit soft personally after watching it back.
Yeah.
So I see why we didn't get it, because it was like, I think it was just on the edge of the box. I'm pretty sure it was Kirsty Hansen, and it was just on the edge of the box, and she kind of fell into the box, so it was a bit soft. So yeah, I see why we didn't get that. But then the other ones we can obviously talk about later, but I think they were more penalty shouts, because there was one with Rach Daly coming off I think it was a corner, like nowhere near the ball, and she just got pushed down to the floor. And like, if that's not a penalty, what is?
I know we say it every week.
Because
we say it every week, don't we, about the referees and some of the linos are just shocking. The ref was shocking, and some of the decisions were, dire.
She was calling a lot as well. Like often, like the linos didn't get to say anything. I found like she was calling it before the linos were calling it. But then again, at the start of the match, I did say that the linos were lagging like an iPhone 4. So I don't know.
Lagging like an iPhone 4, dear me. Not great. Yeah, you want a ref to be proactive in the sense of they're alert to everything, but you want that consistency either way, don't you? Like, what's going to be a play on, what she's going to pick up, and just so you can get like a good mix of the match. But yeah, from the sounds of it, it did not seem good at all. Good evening to Becky in the chat. Becky's joined us. Good evening. Glad to have you. So yeah, if you have just joined, we've just got into it. Don't worry, you can have your say in the chat still. Now, so up until that point, as we said, Villa probably had the better of the chances. There were a couple of occasions where you thought, oh, if someone else had just ran into the box as support, maybe we could have converted something. But against the run of play, in the 45th minute, Nikita Paris, inevitable as ever, broke the deadlock. Now, she found herself in some questionable space from our defence. Initially, her chance was intercepted by Lucy Parker. This is what we kind of touched upon earlier. But the ball got caught under her feet. Again, watching it back, you just saw it happen in slow motion. Like, no, what are you doing? But you could see like the cogs turning her head. Like, how can I do this? So unfortunately, got caught under her feet and ended up giving it back to Nikita Paris to finish her shot for 1-0. Sabs couldn't have done anything with it. It was a bit of a rocket. Now, you could have argued, Sophie, I'll come back to you for this one, kind of going in at halftime at 0-0 would have been kind of fair at that point. But before our goal went in, even though there wasn't much time between the two, Sophie, did you think at any point like, or maybe this is the start of Brighton kind of going for it and maybe their rhythm's starting to kick in, or maybe that's like the look of the game?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me because this week I was on a little trip with my children to the museum that I look after on a Saturday, so I didn't actually get to watch the first half. So I had to open the notifications and was like, it was 1-1, and I was like, so I already knew the score before I watched back the beginning bit. So it was I'm not the good person for this question.
Okay, Lindsay, same question.
Question again.
What was it?
I was listening, but I wasn't.
I do all of this prep. No,
You
so
know
the
what
I know what you like. I've known you 50 years now. I know. Yeah, so the question was essentially, because it was so against the run of play, that goal, did it feel like typical, here we go, we're letting it go through our hands again, essentially?
A little bit, because the way, like Nick said in the chat, like when we played Chelsea, like we were really compact at the back, we were disciplined and everything, and when it came to the actual game, it was like a different squad had got off the bus, and they still had the same fire and passion, but it just wasn't clicking, and it was just like there were gaps, there was positioning things, like the pitch wasn't great, and not, you can make all sorts of excuses, but it just wasn't happening for us, and it was just sort of like, at least we made it to half time, but because we got one back quite quickly, it kind of reversed that to jump ahead
a little bit. Yeah, because again, we all have this optimism, don't we, of we know the potential there, we know what the players can do, and then when it just doesn't start to happen, it's like, what else can we do? However, as Lindsay's rightly said, it wasn't long before we got back into the swing of it. Now, this was actually about 90 seconds later, so talk about not wanting Brighton to have any momentum. So Villa ended up equalising, so it's down the other end from a corner, and our wonderful Anna Patton was there at the back post to tap in from a Villa corner. So going into half time, again at 1-1, so it was still all to play for. So Emma, I'll come to you for this one. Kind of going in at 1-1, was that more of a right, let's have a pep talk, let's come out for the second half? So yeah, how did that balance kind of shift now they were back equal, do you think?
Well, it's definitely better than going in 1-0 down, which I thought was going to happen, because I mean, when Nikita Paris scored that goal, I was just like, oh well, here we go, you know what I mean? But then we scored, which was great. So I feel like even like not just the fans, but even the players got that like positive shift, because the atmosphere, as soon as Nikita Paris scored that goal, it kind of went a bit like, we were still cheering, but you could kind of feel that dip in the atmosphere. But then we scored again, and we were like, okay, so we're back in it. We've still got this to play for. We're not out yet. So like, a good pep talk, a good second half. It could literally be a game of two halves at this point. And
it could have been decided by a goal. All of the cliches coming back into it. But no, you're right. Going into it at halftime was certainly much better at 1-1, knowing it's still all to play for, rather than right, we've got to come back from a deficit and we've got to keep pushing that way. Before we get into the other questions, we've got a Gary. Hello, mate.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening. How are you?
I haven't had a bad day, thank you. Everybody well?
We are very good, thank you. All the best for seeing you.
Such a sweet talker.
always. Yeah, Gary, we've just covered the first half, and we're just saying going into halftime at 1-1 was a much better position than going in a goal down, as it would have been without Patsy's equaliser. So Gary, for you, straight in, I'll come with you for this question. Villa came out, and it felt like whatever the pep talk was, it worked, because we scored 6 minutes after the restart, didn't we? So Gary, for you, first half, not much happened, and then it was almost like a rocket of a second half, wasn't it? So what did you make of it so far?
I actually, the game as a whole, I actually quite enjoyed. It wasn't our best performance. Defensively, you compare defence against Chelsea and then compare it against Brighton. It was two different teams. But that second half, whatever was said, it certainly lit a fire underneath a few people. It was the game really did start to liven up. Villa livened up, and thankfully went on to get us through to the next round in the cup. The players do look hungry, which will certainly make the next round interesting. But I guess just onwards and upwards with Natalia from here. She knows her vision, And of what we've seen in the opening 2 games, there's a lot of positives to take from it. And I know we'll go back to Robert at the start of the season. Again, we'll have positives that we could have taken from him. But then something dropped, was he juggling too many balls or whatever? But, Natalia seems to have a clear vision. And even whenever you listen to her in her post-match interviews, she talks about the mid and long-term goals. You know that she just doesn't want to be here as a flash in the pan. She knows where she wants to take Villa. And early days, I'm definitely excited to see it and look forward to more of it.
No. Hey, Gary, I think you just summed up the rest of the pod. So we'll leave it there for the night. That was a nice.
I don't know about anybody else, but she fills me with lots of confidence.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah,
She's got a good
100%.
aura about her, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Moving forward, absolutely.
Can I just say something also, Freya? I'm really sorry to interrupt. You know what I'm like.
Of course you can. Go on.
Just rewinding back very, very quickly to the first half. Did I imagine this, or were there not a couple of really good shots on goal? There was one from Hansen and one from Gabby.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually thought we played really well the first half. Well, we were playing a decent game, which was why it was so disappointing when Brighton scored that first goal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
I agree. We were creating chances.
Just before half time.
Yeah, we were creating chances, but defensively, we switched off. Comparison to Chelsea, defensively, we switched off. So we also got Brighton chances that Chelsea didn't get.
Agreed.
If we get them, Chelsea would have really hurt us. But instead, I think we really hurt them.
Yeah, and you just think when that defense was so strong against Chelsea, we know we can do it. So what wasn't maybe clicking, like Lindsay said earlier, like what was it about being on that pitch that it just didn't come together? It wasn't as tight.
I don't know. Did you see the state of the pitch?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? It was awful.
I've seen better beaches.
Yeah, we because when, of course, all the draws came out, we're looking at the different stadiums and things like that, and you just think the difference in pitch quality, stadium quality. Like, if you want to get a fairer league throughout, fairer cup throughout, it just makes sense to have fairer playing surfaces, wouldn't it? But that's a different issue that we won't go into. Hello.
I think if you think about the Wolves United game that's played at Telford AFC, it's not played at a WSL ground. It's played at more of a league ground in a part of the country that's probably one of the dampest and coldest without going too far north. So it's got similar kind of conditions to Walsall, and the quality of the pitch there was far superior. So I don't know if it's just that they've got a better ground staff, but like it just looks at the state of that pitch and it was just like night and day difference. It's like it's only half an hour down the road, and it's like, how does that happen? Like, why is Bescott so bad and Telford's so good?
Money in it, I suppose.
Because we sacked.
It's just money on how much money they've got to spend on the upkeep of the pitch and the grounds people. Sorry.
Yeah, because we made the joke, didn't we, that it looked like the doll's head on Toy Story with the hair poking out. That's what the Bescott pitch looked like, because you just could see all the holes, and it was just it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. So the fact again that we did win on it, it wasn't a landslide win, but we got there. We held on even with that pitch. Tracy, I'll come back to you for a moment. So we just kind of touched on there that Rachel Daly scored 6 minutes after the restart. So for you, we then having the score at 2-1, was it a case of, right, what are we going to do now? Did that kind of lift the momentum again as you were there?
It was great. Like, obviously, coming back, and what was it, 6 minutes after coming back?
Yeah.
After half time, and Jordan gave that beautiful pass to Rachel, and she headed it into the back of the net. Absolutely fab. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, the crowd went wild. It was brilliant. A great feeling. Yeah. But then you've always got that, because it's Villa, don't you? And you've always got that in the back. Right, 2-1 now. Come on, please hold on to the lead. Get another one. We need a cushion.
Yes.
And we got it.
We
got
did.
Cushion.
Hey, what a lovely segue. It's like you've done this before, right? Because then 5 minutes after that, our Dutch international, well, one of our Dutch internationals, should we say, Chastity Grant, who we talk about all the time, but she's having a really good run of form, isn't she? Broke forward after a lovely through ball by Rachel Daly, turning provider now. Now, Chastity had support in the box from Gabby, which was great to see. However, she went herself, didn't she? She took her shot, and that's exactly what we've been saying. Well, take your shot. If you think you can do it, go for it. Have a go. And of course it worked. So it was a thunderous cross. It went right across the face of goal, didn't it? Under Loick's arms and into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 3-1. And you just think, 3-1? That's quite nice. That's a nice little buffer. So, Sophie, did you see from this bit?
So, I was walking to the car. It was 1-1. I checked before I left the museum. It was 1-1. I was walking to the car. By the time I was getting the game up on my phone so that I could stream the audio through my speakers, Chastity's goal had just gone in.
Perfect. And then, okay, so for you who weren't, help. I've just been doing algebraic proof and my brain's it's not okay.
I think we're going for a Harry Potter quote there for a second. Like she shall not be named.
Yes, Voldemort was named in our starting 11 at the weekend. He did a fantastic job. No, so as someone who wasn't there but just getting the notifications through, what was that feeling like, Sophie, having Villa actually scoring and doing good things?
Yeah, when I saw it was 1-1, I was a bit like, oh god, because I saw Nikita Paris had scored first, and then I was like, oh no, have we fallen apart against Brighton? And then by the time I was like, oh, it's 3. Wait, what? Hang on a second. Like,
what's going on? Is that us? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, nice. Like I was like,
got the updates right.
Finally got the two goal cushion that we always need, because we always manage to concede when we're ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we score, we celebrate, and then we're back again. Right, okay. Yeah. That's how this is. And as Emily rightly says in the chat, a 2-goal buffer. What is this? Exactly. Like, it doesn't happen. So the fact it stayed that way for another good 20 minutes was wonderful indeed. Now, one thing before we get into that last third of the game then, we've got to talk about the ridiculous yellow.
Oh, wow.
Now, I mean, Emma's reaction, you reacted first there, Emma. So we haven't even said anything about it apart from the ridiculous yellow, and you already know which one it is. So Emma, take us through it. What was it and what was it ridiculous?
So Anna Patton goes off with a bloody nose. Yeah, we'll go with that. Bleeding from her nose, and then comes back on about 3 minutes later, is on the pitch for a fair amount of time, right? The ref then looks at her before she actually touches the ball. So she's looking at her, watching the game. Then Anna Patton touches the ball, the whistle blows. We're all like, what's going on here? Because nothing could happen. Literally, like, there's no contact, nothing. And we're all like, what's going on? Then she whips out a yellow card and we're like, but nothing happened.
What is this?
What is going on here? And apparently it was to do with the fact that the ref didn't call her back on the pitch. But for a start, she was off the pitch for ages. Like, I don't really know the football rules enough to know that how long you have to be off the pitch, but I swear it's only 30 seconds. And she was off for ages. And And then the ref literally looked at her and saw her on the pitch before then blowing the whistle 2 minutes later. Like, how long do you need to process that? It's like, it literally says on her back, pattern 4. It's not difficult.
I mean, we say this.
It's just
we
no
say
word.
this. So it did seem a bit ridiculous. But I suppose the laws of the game. And Sophie, you, the player amongst us, hey, that's your new rule.
But I do not know the rules that well. I am actually just Googling it.
Okay, Sophie, you keep Googling it. But yeah, it's one of those though that you'd think if maybe the ref said, right, go off, get sorted, come back on, even if you do usually wait, don't you, to get waved back on. So I mean, it's a innocent enough mistake, maybe. Because of course you want to get back on, but I don't know, was there a little break in play where she thought it was okay to come back on? Not quite sure.
Has she even been told by the fourth official to go back onto the pitch? And the fourth official hasn't communicated with the referee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And if that is the case, then that definitely needs sorting out, doesn't it? Because if you've been told one thing by someone and one thing by someone else, that's not okay, is it? So yeah, it was just a bit of a, as Emma and Emily rightly said, what on earth is going on? We can't lose her essentially, because
I do wonder, will we see a return of Super Patsy? Because obviously with her nose injury earlier on in the season and having to wear the mask sort of for so long, I wonder if there's a bit of a weakness around her nose, and that's maybe what brought the blood injury on over the weekend.
She also had I think when she got taken off this, I think that second time when she got taken off, she had it was a thigh injury, wasn't it? Because they wrapped her thigh.
Yeah.
And then she was on the pitch for, I don't know, a few minutes, and then she had to come off.
I think that's when they swapped her for Dan Turner.
So I'm hoping she hasn't got a hamstring pull or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, hope not at all.
Because
Because
we
obviously she's
bring an extra centre back in. No, we didn't do that.
I know it's a bit late to announce anyone now, isn't it? A bit late.
Maybe they're just hiding it, and then obviously when we need them, they're just going to go, "Oh, hey."
So digitally, we didn't sign anyone. Here you go, and they're all hiding in a cupboard somewhere. I mean, that's the dream. That's the dream, isn't it? That we've got all these other players hidden somewhere now. So yeah, Patsy had to go off, unfortunately, in the I've got the minute 78th minute. So she went off in the 70th minute. For Dan Turner, fantastic to see her back. We have missed her. However, another one. Nick's put in. Oh, hello everyone in the chat. So Becky's put. From what I saw, it looked like the official on the sideline told her to go back on. However, Nick's saying, well, actually, the fourth official doesn't have the authority to do that, which has probably been the issue. Tis solely the ref. So yeah.
But then shouldn't that be communicated? Like,
yes, it should. Yes.
Communication is key, guys.
You can tell who's doing a teaching course at the minute. Communication's key. It's all right. We'll circle back. To that one. Now, so that was one sub. Let's talk about another one. What did we think, or does anyone have any thoughts about Katie Robinson coming on for Chastity when she was having such a good game? Lindsay, I'll come to you because that's a fun face.
I think Chastity's playing so well at the moment that I would have been inclined to keep her on to see the game out personally and put fresh legs in other parts of the squad. It's going to be controversial. And then push for a fourth so that we completely seen the game off. But that's because I am not Katie Robinson's biggest fan. I'm waiting to be convinced. I'm waiting for her to just shine and maybe like, oh my God, she's brilliant. So for me personally, it wasn't the best of decisions. However, if Chastity hasn't got the fitness or she's tired, then it would make sense. So it doesn't really answer the question, but it wasn't what I would have done. Personally.
And she did her job for the day, didn't she? She definitely did her job. Would you have changed anyone else then, Lindsay, on that note?
Not sure. This is the thing, because we're doing so well. The Robinson and Salmon are just, it seems superfluous. Like it just.
Did we? Okay, so we had, so subs wise, so we had Jordan and Chastity both came off in the 67th minute for Miri and Robbo. And then Patsy came off in the 78th minute for Dan Turner. And then Rach and Gabby both came off at the same time for Missy Bo and Ebony to
That made no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. Because we went from 2 strikers to 1 for a start, which was like interesting. And I don't think, like personally, I don't think Missy Bo Kearns has the physicality that game needed. She got pushed off the ball quite a lot, and it was a very physical game. Brighton were playing the physical game because they knew the ref was like all for them, really. Like everything that Brighton didn't get fouled, didn't get a book in. Yeah, if we did the same thing, straight on it. Make it make sense. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think Katie's strong enough either. You know, if we're talking about the physicalities, I don't think Katie's strong enough either. But I think if we think long term, whatever we've signed, Katie and Missy Bo, you know, they're not starting players because we'll have the likes of Jordan Nobbs and Stanley Ford and Baynes at the minute. You know, we do have stronger players in those positions, but they're both under 23 internationals. They're long-term players. They're not overnight players.
Yes.
Jill Bakings. Oh my God.
She's incredible.
She's amazing. She is amazing.
Good.
Yeah, Bakings just, yeah.
She's my favourite player at the moment now.
She did get another yellow card. She's starting to get a bit of a reputation. Is our Jill?
Good though, isn't she? She's so good on the ball.
She's very good.
So good. She got it in the 96th minute though. 96.
She's just not a pushover. I'd really like to see her and Stanley Ford lining up against each other. I think that'd be a hell of a core.
Oh, could you imagine that?
A Parker in behind.
Yes. Yeah, so Lucy, Stan, if you're watching, if we could just hurry your recovery up a little bit, and then we can see both of them together.
Answer your question on the yellow card, the law of the game.
Thank you. Yes.
Which I downloaded the whole 116-page booklet.
Dedication. Cheers to you. Thank you very much.
It's 0.8 of Law 3.
Wonderful.
Is if a player who requires the referee's permission to re-enter the field of play re-enters without the referee's permission, the referee must stop play, not immediately if the player does not interfere with play or a match official, or if the advantage can be applied. Caution the player for entering the field of play without permission. And if the referee stops play, it must be restarted with a direct kick from the position of the interference or with an indirect free kick from the position of the ball when play was stopped if there was no interference.
So what does it mean by caution?
Yellow card.
Oh.
So...
Damn the referee.
And I think that's
did
why
a job then.
She didn't give it until Patsy actually interfered with play by kicking the ball.
She just shouldn't have touched the ball then until half time. Do you know what I mean? Just run.
Could you imagine though, Patsy's been like dodgeball for the rest of the time, be like, oh crap, I shouldn't have come on, and just been like, nope, can't interfere. Like that would have just been so. Really, Patsy was screwed. Essentially, like there's nothing she could have done apart from
because she came on before the referee had said you can come back on.
So it's such a silly yellow as well, isn't it? To get of all the things to do. That's annoying. But thank you, Sophie. Thank you for that. Okay. We do appreciate that.
I had another point on subs because we were talking about subs.
Yeah, go
about
for it.
That pitch being like a bog. So maybe some of them were just because the players were getting tired legs.
Yeah,
running when it's like that is horrible.
Yes, because let's have a look. Someone's talking about it in the chat. Yeah, Emily said sometimes our subs feel like making them just for the sake of it. So maybe that was a tired leg issue, and this one in particular. But again, against Chelsea, we had a few questions, didn't we, about why a few happened. Nick, on the other hand, is a fan of Robbo, saying Robbo is fabulous. So Lindsay, we'll have to get you convinced at some point.
I'm open to being I'm not saying that she's a bad player. I'm just saying I'm just not convinced she's quite there yet. But she's a young player.
She's quick.
And I'm positive.
Quick,
I'm positive about it, but I'm just giving her the opportunity and I'm open to it. I'm not there going, no, she's a rubbish player, we get rid of her. I'm just saying I just not quite think she's quite there yet.
Yeah.
I am more surprised Nick actually likes someone.
That is true. For anyone who hasn't watched before, Nick is our resident cynic, but we love her very much for it. So we do miss that voice tonight, of course. Now let's have a look. Yeah, Nick's also put, so again on the issue of subs, 2-goal buffer, put it into a back five, part of the bus, lose a striker fine, but only for a defender. Just felt a bit like taken off, your Rich and your Gabby and your everyone. It just seemed, not great when you're turning them for wingers and all sorts. So just a bit strange. Now let's have a think. Emily's also put, did we spot this at the end? Jill had the captain's armband when it went off.
You know what I thought because I just think she's brilliant, Jill Beijings, and I thought to myself, Rachel's seen that. She's seen how good she's been in this game, and she's gone to herself, I'm giving it to Jill because she deserves it.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that was the case or whether she was the closest one to her. I don't know, but that's what I thought.
Hey, that's fully well deserved. So Emily says in the end there, sorry, Bayern. We've got to sign her, haven't we? We've got to.
Yeah, we got to keep her.
Fantastic, especially losing Kenza. She's a fantastic person in that midfield. So creative.
I'm quite happy to set up a GoFundMe if Phil can't afford it.
Yeah, I think the transfer fund is, Emma, what are we up to? 2 Milky Buttons and a partridge in a pear tree?
2
and a paper cut.
Terrible. Perfect.
I can donate a chocolate coin.
Yeah, we can have a whip round, can't we? Yeah. A pen. A pen to sign the contract with. Yes, absolutely. Oh, no, we need to keep her. We need to keep our Jill. Because, again, don't fall in love with the lone player, but too late. She's too good. She is too good indeed. Now, so it's 3-1, and we're thinking, okay, 1, don't throw it away. 2, just keep it. We're so close. We've done the hard work. Just keep going. Now, more chances will come in Villa's way. Again, Kirsty Hansen had another powerful strike deflected off Loic. And you just think, how many times did Kirsty try and get on the score sheet, but it just wasn't happening for her. I do have to say, stats-wise, Loic made 5 saves. So if she wasn't on it and wasn't as quick, we could have had many more. Sabs only had to make the 1. Only the 1 save, as the other 2, as we saw, just went straight in. Now, we knew it wasn't going to be easy because Nikita Paris, yet again, almost looked like Brighton were going to come for a comeback, didn't it?
She is good, though. You got to give her a due. She's good.
She's all right, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved the England call-up.
For an old-timer.
Yes, no, she's good. Do you just call her an old-timer?
How old is she?
She's about the same age as Jordan Nobbs and that, isn't she?
Yeah, like 20s. Oh, yeah, so she is an old-timer. Yeah. She looks about 12, but she is an old-timer.
She's not, is she?
She's definitely over 30, I'm sure. Oh, no, she's just 30. She's 31 in March.
There we go. See, she's not old.
She's not old.
She's old in football.
Jordan Nobbs.
Football speaks, she's old. It's not as old as me, but yeah. Not playing walking football quite yet.
A few years. Now then, so this one, I mean, we can't be angry at it. It was a really very well worked team goal, wasn't it? Started at the back with Maria Thursdottir, long ball over the top, found Madison Haley, who again, very good, annoyingly good player. Shook off 2 of our defenders annoyingly with a lovely little turn. Beautiful pass through to Nikita Paris. and who again was in space, where were our defence, and took the shot with her left foot, despite slipping on the lovely surface, and the ball hit the roof of the net for 3-2. Now, 72nd minute, got about 20 minutes yet to go with the add-ons. What were people's thoughts? Emma, what were your thoughts when that went in and suddenly it was so close, the scoreline?
Well,
is that it?
I wanted a game, like, I didn't want penalties. Like, I feel like I'd have had to leave the stadium if it went to penalties. But I love a spicy game, so I was here for like the spice. I was here for the flavour. But I was like, no, like we were so close. Now we've now got to get, like, why do I keep saying now?
I don't know, but you just sound like a walking cliche earlier. It's here for the spice, here for the flavour. Like, who are you? What's this? What are you talking about?
I don't know what's going on.
You've been drinking.
But yeah, we needed to get another goal. We needed to get that 2-goal buffer because, I mean, we had it for so long, and then we lost it, and it was like, wow.
It was a
fantastic match report. Thank you. We had it. Then we lost it.
I'm here every week.
Yeah, because the atmosphere in the stadium. Tracy, I'll come back to you for this one. The Brighton fans, they were quite loud, weren't they? But unfortunately, there was there was not very good moments with the Brighton fans, unfortunately, being rather rude. But when did you not hear this bit?
No.
Little Archie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were telling them to F off.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They were getting
full-grown adults.
Yeah.
Has a complaint been made?
I'm not sure.
That's shocking.
Really shocking. Yeah. Yeah, and it got back to his sister, I believe, as well. And she said, he's fine. He got home because he saw Kirsty after the match and things, and he was happy that Villa got through. So luckily, it didn't affect him. But you just think, it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
What is wrong with people? Just because he was like singing and stuff?
I think he was trying to like banter with them, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, we love a bit of banter.
You don't deserve that. There's banter, like, a bit of banter.
He's a child.
It's like Bristol Road.
Archie is fully out for the proper football day. He loves a sing-song. He loves sort of just enjoying
the banter.
But for a fully grown adults to abuse a child, why is that?
Yeah, no, I can believe it. So yeah, but I'm sure the people he was with, I'm sure if there was a complaint to be made, I'm sure they would have done it. But the fact that was going on when really in the stadium, it was meant to be, cup magic. It was meant to be, everyone together having a bit of banter like it was with Bristol Rovers. Like that's what it should have been. But unfortunately, some of that toxicity from the men's game is starting to come in, where people think it's okay to abuse one another. So we would just like to say, no, get out.
Get back to the south. People want it.
Yeah, no, you are not welcome in the women's game at all. If you're going to
shocking,
absolutely shocking. So with the clock ticking down. So Tracy, I think I was going to ask you this one. With the clock ticking down, were you starting to get that glimmer of hope, like we can do this, or was it still right to the end? I'm not believing it until the whistle goes.
It was not till the end. I'm not going to believe it. It's because it was literally like that goal went in, that second Brighton goal went in. It was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it was.
We had that 2-goal cushion. Yeah, we had that cushion. It was like really excited. Yeah, oh my God, we're going to come away with this 3-1. The goal goes in. You're like, 70-something minute, and you could just see we were either going to walk away with 3-3 or even lose it, because that's what happened. So it was squeaky bum time for the whole of the rest of the game. literally just hanging onto the chair in front kind of thing and just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And we managed to do it. So that was obviously great. But yeah, it was that, and that's the thing with watching Villa, because we've been through it so many times, where we need that cushion to be sure that we're going to win. Because if we haven't got it, it's like we've just got the history of throwing it away. And it's a shame that we feel like that, but it's because we know what's happened in the past. So I'm hoping that Natalia can kind of like turn it around so that, you know, we can start to feel a little bit more positive, even when, you know, the game is quite close and we're in the lead, and you know, just feel a bit more positive about the fact that we can hold on to that lead.
Yeah.
Can
keep it, can do it.
Yeah, we can keep it and we can do it. But hopefully it's, you know, thankfully, sorry, it turned out okay, and we got the win.
We did indeed. Oh yeah, Nick rightly put as well. So not only were they doing that to our fans, every time Poppy Patterson got Chastity, they were saying knock her out, and they were just vile, absolutely vile, the whole way through. So yeah, no, not a fan at all. No need. And again, it's meant to be banter. It's not meant to be whatever the hell that was, because no, we're not having it. So yeah, unfortunately, there was a slight bitter undertone to that. But we're going to move on to the good stuff, because it's only the second time since we've been promoted, to the top flight, that we've been this far in the competition. That's nice, isn't it? Second time we've got this far. The last time, of course, heartbreak when Chelsea beat us 1-0 in the semi-final. However, we all think we're going on a cup run. We have been drawn away to Manchester City in the quarter-final. And everyone's saying, hey, we've done it before. Why can't we do it again? Sophie, have you got any thoughts on this? Can we do it?
Yeah, of course we can.
Good. Fantastic. Yeah, are we all in agreement there that we turn up, we do our best, we're in a good...
We can do it.
We tend to turn up against the bigger teams anyway, like the likes of Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. So if we'd have got someone like Sunderland, I'm not although it sounds like an easy game, I'm not convinced, because if we don't turn up, Sunderland would be all over us.
That would have been a cracking fixture. I do just have to say, with the draw, has everyone seen the full draw, by the way, of who's got who?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like, yet again, the big four have all avoided each other. And there's going to be no one new in the next stage. So, yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it who's watching at the moment, City Villa, Chelsea Crystal Palace, United Sunderland, Arsenal Liverpool. Now, looking at it just by looking at it, everyone's going to go, big four into the semis, and that's it. But really...
And they're all at home.
And they're all at home as well. I mean, it looks dodgy as anything, doesn't it? The fact that that draws come out that way. But could you imagine if they were mixed up just slightly? Like, if Sunderland got us, or Sunderland got Liverpool, or Palace got Sunderland. Like, just games that no matter which way they went, there'd be another team in the semis rather than the top four. Like, and it just...
I think it would have been fun for Sunderland to get like Chelsea at home.
Chelsea at Eppleton, I would pay good money.
Imagine that.
I would pay good money to see Lucy Bronze at Eppleton. Just in
going on.
Oh, I know.
Did you start at Sunderland, Lucy Bronze?
Yeah. Because, you know, it's someone's the back of their garden. They've got a net up to stop the ball going in. Like, that's the furthest away from Kingsmeadow you can get. I would have loved that game. Emily, however, has said, we held City for most of the game last time. And Nixon, City away is generally our best performance. Yes. We all remember Dan Turner's goal of the season and how fantastic it was. So, yeah, I mean, the right team shows up. City, of course, are facing Chelsea 10 million times within 2 days. And they've got Champions League as part of that.
Very tired.
Hopefully.
Let's hope they're really tired, like napping on the pitch.
And they've only got like 6 players in a dream right now, City. Like,
exactly, yeah. So, I mean, if they put a few academy players on and put, or just don't put the players on, that would be quite nice. Just
don't turn up.
Even better, forfeits.
Just forget to turn up.
But of course, we want the match, don't we? We want them to just do their best and just really show up. And, regardless, we'll be proud, won't we? But
we beat them in the FA Cup in the exact same tie 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah.
And it shall be done.
It was the exact same, round of the competition as well.
Hey, history.
Just don't get a dodgy ref.
But it was at Bescott. Home for
it
Villa.
Was. I remember that.
Of course it was, yeah. Yeah.
Didn't Lucy Staniforth get the winner?
Rachel Daly. According to the FA report.
Emma, you were so confident.
I remember they were celebrating in the corner because I was sat literally next to them. Not on the pitch, obviously. I was sat in the seats.
I was going to say, and the stewards won't have questioned it. Just let us sit there. Let us sit there. So, yeah, no, it can be done. Of course it can. And also it means that we get to see Crunk again. And we'll do another match preview / match report on the show as well. So people can look forward to that one. Now, at the end of the match, Sophie, you really wanted to talk about Arroyo's post-match interview. Because what did she call it?
She said it was a suffering one.
Suffering what? I love it. But she's absolutely right. We did suffer those last 20 minutes. It was certainly not the easiest.
They were the only 20 minutes I caught live as well. By the time I'd got home, we were on 75 minutes, and I was like,
"So it
was awful. It was so stressful."
Okay, right. Everyone blame Sophie for those last 20 minutes. That's it was going well when she was just getting the notifications on her phone. Yeah, but like we said earlier, Arroyo's got such a good aura about her, and it just seems like it's going really, really well.
She knows what she wants as well. I feel like she's got this vision, and she's kind of going to do anything she can.
Has anyone else seen her pre-Leicester interview from today?
Yeah.
No.
No, go on and take us through it. Was it a video or a...
It's quite short.
It was a video on the...
Oh, it was a video, yeah.
I was going to say, because I'm just on the news right now and it's not as an article.
Yeah, it was a little video that... it wasn't like the pre-match press conference. It was a pre-match
just a little
interview.
Little chat.
It does sound very much like the aim, the short-term aim for this season is just don't be relegated.
Which fair, yeah.
I mean, that's a good goal.
And then to look at a longer-term goal. She's there's not going to be huge changes
winning the league
in the next few weeks.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, I mean, because we're getting better and consistently performing, aren't we? So, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, Leicester, we should get the 3 points. We should, because they're not scoring at the minute. They're really struggling. So if we
can you sorry, can I just say though, right? I mean, Leicester are the only team this season that have managed to stop Chelsea from winning a game.
I mean, we were only 1-0 down.
Yeah, but I think that was good.
Do that again.
And we had to score for them.
We were only 1-0 down both times.
I know. But this is what I'm saying is don't underestimate Leicester.
Oh no, they've got
if they turn up on the day, you know what I mean? So hopefully we do get the 3 points, but
yeah. So it's never easy. I mean, they've only managed, let's have a look. They've only scored 6 goals this season. and they've had 19 against them.
Their defense is pretty good. It's their going forward that's let them down, I think.
They're really struggling to score, aren't they? Which is kind of what we were struggling with at the start of the season.
Yes, no.
Have they played all their home games at the King Power this season?
Yeah.
I'm sure they have for the past few seasons.
Yeah, they have for a while, haven't they?
Good.
Okay.
Oh, hello. We've got a Connor in the chat. Hello. He says, if we could beat City, that would be great. And yes, good evening. It's been a while, Connor. We'll have to have a catch up. But yeah, no, I mean, that would be fantastic. And if Connor, if you just let Sunderland beat you, that would be great. So Sunderland could get through to another semi. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we can't underestimate Leicester at all. But we are aware. We shall stay wary, shan't we? Of their troubles. But yeah, it'll certainly be an interesting one at the weekend. Now, considering all of that, can I have some score predictions from people, please? So for the weekend against Leicester, Gary, coming to you. Score predictions on the doors, please.
2-0 the Villa.
2-0 the Villa. Wonderful. Emma, what are you thinking?
Why'd you come to me, Stuart?
Don't say 2-1.
Yeah, I know, but I was gonna say 2-1, Casey.
Hey,
Let's go. Actually, don't write that down. 3-1.
You got right.
Villa.
Hang on. So Gary's going.
Because Leicester can't score. They're
Gary's
struggling
going
to score.
2-0. Tracy, what did you do? 2-1.
No, I was going to go 2-0 like Gary.
Oh, 2-0.
I was thinking the same thing when Gary said it. You read my mind. We're so
We're all psychic on the show. That's what it is. Emma, what did you decide on?
3-1. I want a clean sheet, but I mean, our defense.
I'm going to go 3-1, but I want a clean sheet.
Our defense sometimes fall asleep occasionally. Like they have a little nap, and then we concede. So I'm going to go 3-1.
No. Okay, 3-1. Okay, fair enough. Sophie, what are you thinking?
I'm going 1-0.
Oh.
2.
Up Villa.
It was 1-0 last time we played Leicester away.
It was. Do you remember how scrappy that game was? That was vile. I remember that Leicester away game. Lindsay, I forgot how to spell your name there. Lindsay. Lindsay, what are you thinking?
I went big the last game. So I was going to go 3-0 to us. Because our strikers are on fire and I want Sabs to get a clean sheet.
Yes.
Ooh, so do I. But I'm just being realistic.
None
of this delulu.
Do we know if Anna Patton is fit and available after having to go off with a little niggle?
I haven't seen anything to the contrary.
Then again, do we know what's happening with Leon, Adriana Leon? Because she was not on the team sheet last week.
No, that's been definitely silenced as well, hasn't it? Yeah, so we're missing Maz because she had a bit of is it a thigh calf?
Yeah, she did something on her first game back.
Yeah.
She's off for about 5 more weeks, though, isn't she, apparently?
Oh, is she?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then there was just no Dre at all.
Rachel Corsy's close to coming back from the sounds of things, according to Rachel Corsey on her podcast.
According to actual Rachel Corsey. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was talking about it on her podcast that she does with Leanne Crichton and saying that she was due back this weekend, but she had a little calf flare-up, but it wasn't as bad as she thought, so she will hopefully be back very soon.
Good. Okay. And again, it's a good presence to have, isn't it? Just around the team and actually on the pitch as well. Perfect. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit more digging. I don't know if Emily, if you've heard anything about it.
Even posted any training pictures recently?
Mm-mm.
I don't think she has,
No.
you know.
Oh, she posted earlier in the Villa gym. Oh. See, I knew Emily would be on it. Connor's saying Villa 3-0. Connor, you're welcome to come back anytime, mate.
I like Connor, can definitely come back.
Yeah, we love Connor in the chat. 3-0. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good run out. I might. The only thing I'm thinking about Leicester, Janice Cayman and Missy Goodwin. I know they're only 2, but they're having very good games, so you never know. So I might join Emma in the 3-1 club for that one, just because you never know. You never know with Leicester. And again, to be vigilant. In fact, Gary, hey, Harry Potter reference for you. Constant vigilance. There you go. Got that in there.
Say, look at this. Last week we'll have Pokemon, and this week we'll have Harry Potter.
Hey, last night, we had all sorts. I had a really niche reference to the name game, if anyone's ever watched American Horror Story Asylum. Just very, very niche. But hey, we enjoy it. It's all good. Perfect then. So they are the predictions for this week. Oh, Simon in the chat. There we go. 5-2 to Villa.
No,
I mean, I like the 5. I like the 5. If we let them have 2, though, too many. Emily's put 5-0. We're thinking we've got our shooting boots on.
We've done a 5-0 over Leicester before, I'm sure.
Let's have a look, shall we?
I think we have. It was when
was it the
we had
golden
that really
season?
good season.
Is that when Lucy Staniforth got the winner again?
Yeah.
I think Hanson's going to score.
Kirsty needs
I want
to score,
Miri to
doesn't
score.
she? Miri deserves a goal. All of her
Oh,
chances.
yeah.
Needs that goal.
Needs it.
Like, how many times can she shoot at that goal and it win?
Kirsty Hansen, I think. Has Kirsty Hansen had her goal yet?
She needs to score.
5-0. We did win 5-0, and it was on the 26th of March, 2023. And out of all of our head-to-heads, we've won 8 of them and drawn 4. So Leicester
have never lost to Leicester.
No,
Leicester
haven't won any of them.
Ooh.
That's a better stat. I quite like that one.
Yeah.
Right, do we know who the referee is?
Do we know who the referee is?
Is it that the one that we had that was absolutely shocking and was their 12th player?
We
always get that.
No, she was really bad. The Lego hair one.
There are no Lego people in football. I don't know if they've been announced yet, referees. Normally they do a list, don't they? Let's have a look. Referee. What's going to be the 16th? 16th. 2025.
Also, Anna Patton's goal, was that our first goal from a set piece, like from a corner all season? It feels like it.
It feels like it, yeah.
I don't know if it was, but it feels like it. I feel like we have so many corners.
I feel like we've had like a Rachel Daly header or a Gabby Nunes header.
Oh, possibly.
Corner.
We
both of those two,
during the Cup game, the Bristol Rovers game, there was a goal from a set piece corner. At least one.
Oh yeah, that was Daly's goal.
Yeah.
I remember they said that it came off someone else, and we all knew that it came off.
I think
Daly.
Miri took it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Connor has provided us with the information as well.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Ade. The guy ref.
The guy ref.
He's good. Yeah.
Maybe.
You do. He's our only black ref that I'm aware of.
I know, yeah. He's pretty good because he lets things go, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's quite free flowing, isn't he?
Yeah.
See, Connor, you're fantastic, which is amazing. And I just got the document open as you said it. So yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, I quite
so that's who we've got on Sunday.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So that'd be
so maybe it could be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very fair game.
Well, hopefully. Hey, fingers crossed that we do. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I think, again, as we've said in the chat as well, making the right subs, come out with a good intent, and just really, really, really going for it. Because we need it. We need that cushion. Because at the moment, if we look at the table, just as a quick one, we are just 1 point above Leicester. Just one. So we need these 3 points to just break away and just get away, because Crystal Palace are on 6, so they're not even that far behind. You know, if they picked up a few more points from somewhere, which again, they have a good window, they can.
Who have Palace got this weekend?
Palace have got, let's have a look. Man United. So Connor, if you just beat them by about 10, that'd be great. But yeah, Palace do have United this weekend. Who else? So we've got Leicester. And so it's Arsenal Spurs, of course, North London derby. Chelsea Everton, again at Kings Meadow. Poor Everton. They might as well have just stayed there after last weekend. West Ham Brighton and City Liverpool as well this weekend. So yeah, there's some good ones. And just, yeah. It would be interesting to see where the points come from, because of course we don't want to get to the point where we're watching other people for points, but if we have to, we're relying on everyone else to drop them. Now, yeah, Connor's saying we'll put 5 past Palace. Yeah, wonderful, because you know United this season, you know they're
having an all right season.
Constantly performing well, yeah, and they're picking up points.
Tullis Joyce is something else.
Yeah, I was going to say, we love our saps, but can we just take a minute for Tullis Joyce, because she has been insane.
Oh, yeah.
Season. Absolutely insane. Connie, you've got a good one there, mate. Keeper. Keeper, yeah. Please do. Now, the last
that we could be 8th by Sunday night if everything goes well.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for that, Nick. So if we do some maths then, so if we win, Everton, I mean, if they do win against Chelsea, that'd be amazing, but we probably can't see it. Our goal difference is the same as Everton at the minute.
But if we won and they lost,
theirs
would have to go down and ours would have to go up, right?
Yes. Yes, that's how it works. So then we could be in it, as you rightly said, pushing Everton. West Ham are on 11. Who did I say they've got? Brighton. I think Brighton might win that. Okay, so let's assume Brighton win that one. Then we will be above Everton, West Ham, and Leicester and Crystal Palace if we win that one. And no one else wins. So, yeah, if everyone else could just lose this weekend, that would be phenomenal. Thank you very much. And as Connor says in the chat, Fallon's a gem of a person as well, which we love. So the last thing I was going to talk about is international duty. But has anyone got anything else relating to the match they want to talk about before we move on?
Other than the commentary, no.
Oh, that was a bit passive aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. It's one of those weeks.
I'll remove you. I do have that power. Okay, so
no, that might just be mean.
Is that Emma saying she'd like the commentary corner background? Go on then. So,
yay.
Emma's got a few gems for us that she'd like to delight us with. And if anyone's watching that I've got any in the chat as well that you picked up from the weekend, please add them in. But yeah, Emma, take it away when you're ready, please.
Oh, there's some interesting ones. I'm going to go with the ones that aren't commentary first, because these are just things that I picked up. So on the stream, when I was watching it back, the Brighton's fans, I cannot talk today. The Brighton fans were screaming, "Let's go Brighton, let's go." But it sounded very brummy. It was like, "Let's go Brighton, let's go." And it was just like,
They picked up the accent on the way.
Must have been. It was that long a drive that they had to practice the accent. And then when Dan Turner came on, where's my note gone? Anyway, when Dan Turner came on, it sounded like the guy who was announcing the subs called her Diane Turner. I mean, he might not have done. We can't hear that in the stadium because
Diane. Okay.
their Scott are like really awful, but that's what it sounded like on the stream.
We can call her Diane. That's fine.
Onto the commentary. This one came from Freya, so it looks like a blood injury for Patsy. Well, yeah.
I just thought it was a weird way to say it. Like, just say, you know, she's hurt her nose, she's got a nosebleed, just she's got a blood injury. Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Or a head injury or something. That would be better.
Oh, yeah. Or a knock to the nose, or you know, yeah.
But it was a bit specific but vague at the same time. Anyway, one of the many on paper quotes was Brighton are favourites on paper. Like, I'm pretty sure this commentator thought he was on Love Island with on paper, because it took me back to that season where all they said was, "You're my type on paper."
What a niche
reference. So long ago now.
Okay, we're doing Love Island meets WSL. Wonderful.
Wow.
Well, we did talk about we need a Real Housewives in WSL, but that's a completely different podcast. Okay, yeah.
I don't have a quote for this one, but I just thought it was good that the commentator was calling out the refs' wrong decisions, but like after the decision had happened.
Oh, it was really sassy.
Like,
yes, I agree.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, because didn't he say like? Well, I have to say that's the incredibly wrong decision by the referee.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, like he needed to be there and actually say that to the ref. But anywho, we'll go with some exposure. When Anna Patten scored the goal, it was Anna Patten won't score an easier goal. Like, okay, we get it. It was an easy goal. She virtually walked into the back of the net, but she's just had a blood injury. Do you know what I mean? And a yellow card. Give the girl a break.
Hey, we could get her an easier goal. That's fine. We could just walk her in.
Yeah, just remove the keeper and the rest of the other players.
Yeah, that's legal.
Easier. Again, on the topic of Anna Patten, we've got issue of blood coming from her nose. What a weird way to say nosebleed.
I mean, massive issue when you think about it.
Like, interesting. We need to start feeding our players before they play, because we had Maz nibbling at someone's legs a few weeks ago. This week we had Jill Byings on the second bite of the cherry. Why is she taking more than one bite of a cherry? That's what I want to know.
How big's the cherry?
Yeah.
It's maybe the stone in the middle.
But and I think I'm on my last one. Yes. So then they were talking about how I think it was like how we've not won a game yet, but obviously we've had two very like hard games, playing like City and playing Chelsea. But the commentator said that we had Man City away. What a fool. We played them at home. We literally played them at Villa Park.
He needs to get his facts right, Emma.
Was he getting a bit mixed up
100%.
with that? No, I don't. You can't even get mixed. I can't defend him. No, I can't. I would just like to say that. Thank you for that, Emma. That was very enlightening. If it was out of context, can we just have a moment for Nick's comment? If we didn't know what we were talking about, I'd like to see him score with a tampon up his nose. Just out of context, that is hilarious. So thank you to Nick for providing us with that one. Now, of course, the last thing we are going to talk about are our internationals, because we have quite a few, haven't we? So we did have Dree and Sabs, all being well, for the She Believes Cup, of course, for Canada. We've had Jill and Chastity announced for the Netherlands. We've had Kirsty for Scotland, and of course ex-villain Freya Gregory also up for Scotland as well. And then we had the Lionesses, seniors, and younger groups as well announced. Now, a name that we're still not used to seeing missing, Rachel Daly, of course, but no Lucy Parker either. I genuinely thought she might have got a chance, considering, Lucy Bronze had a bit of a knock, but apparently she's fine and back. Did anyone have any thoughts? Should Lucy have been included, or is it still a bit of a dream at this point?
Yes. The only reason I think she's not maybe been called up is because how long has she been back from injury? Like 3 weeks?
Yeah, maybe not long enough.
She's like, although she's played quite a few minutes, but maybe it's still a bit precautionary.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
That's Delulu
yeah,
land,
Lindsay, do you think that, because she's been in the setup before, of course, through the youth groups, if she keeps injury free, do we think there is a shout for the Euros there?
I would like to hope so, and I would like to be positive and hope that if it's all done on genuine merit, that she would be guaranteed a place if she stays injury free and plays as she is. However, we know that there's red tape and politics involved, so it's a bit of a wild card. It's the polite answer. But I would love to see her at the Euros. I think she deserves a place if she carries on playing like she's playing.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and for the Lionesses in general, not just necessarily kind of our squad. Sophie, was that the squad you were expecting for the Lionesses? Anyone you changed?
Wasn't expecting Nikita Paris.
Yes, that was a nice surprise, yeah.
Which, yeah, in a good way. I'm really happy for her. Like, she's been playing really well. But I honestly thought after she got dropped in 2022 that was her international career kind of closed.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like because she was in really good form previously and didn't get a call up. But I think she's in such good form at the minute. I'm actually really happy for her.
Yeah, me too. Because of course there was the issue of, well, Chloe Kelly hasn't been playing, but Serena's previously saying she's got credit in the bank when she hasn't been playing. But this time, Serena actually says, no, actually, we've had a chat. She's moved teams. She's hopefully going to get more minutes. And hopefully now, she's still not out for the Euros, which is a good shout, because we know what she can do when given the chance. Has anyone got, because I know Nick said there, having maybe Jess Naz instead of Beth England again with her form at the moment, maybe that could have been a swap. Any other changes people would have made if they were in charge of the squad?
Rach Daly, just come out of retirement.
What, you'd make her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd say 5 golden coins, 5 chocolate coins.
5 chocolate coins.
I think the squad is fine.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
There's no massive shocks.
No.
It was nice to see Laura get called up again.
Yes, of course, we had Laura Brown.
Interesting Lucy, though, because she's injured. Lucy Bronze.
Well, she's back. Sonia said in our interview today that she's available for the weekend. And back. Because that was a bit of a scare, of course, especially the people who wanted to meet her last week at Villa Park, and she wasn't there. But yeah, no, that was my thinking with maybe the back line.
Also, Canada are not in the She Believes Cup; they're in the Pinatar Cup.
Oh, Pinatar! I do apologise.
Which is good for ours because it's in Spain, so it's much less travel for our Canadian internationals than having to travel to North America. What
did I see on the She Believes? Oh, USA are in the She Believes, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's their competition, isn't it? She Believes.
Is it? Canada were?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, because I think I saw, completely off topic, but Sophia Smith? Wilson. Yeah. Well, that was going to be a thing. So Sophia Smith, who is now Sophia Wilson because she got married, people are going off it. And also Lindsay Horan, who is now Lindsay Heaps as well.
And Lynn Williams is now Lynn Biendolo.
Hey, look at you. So obviously women get married and they change their names if they want to, of course. And they have on the back of their shirts, completely up to them what they do or not. And loads of people are really offended that they've changed their name on the back of their shirts, which is ridiculous. But Sophia Wilson called it out on social media over the weekend, which was hilarious. I say weekend, I think it was today. I have no idea where I am on a Thursday. So it was good to see people actually, because we've seen players call out fans for, harassing and abusing, verbally abusing, I should say, players. But it was nice that actually they did it on social media to be like, can you all stop being ridiculous? It's nothing to do with you. Stop making it an issue. Like, there are boundaries, there are rules. Go away. You are not getting involved in my personal life. I thought that's quite good for the weekend. Right, so that was the seniors then. Of course, we've got Missy Bull-Kearns and Katie Robinson in the under-23s. Good. And we've also got Rachel Maltby and Sophia Pua in the under-19s as well, which is fantastic to see. Of course, we miss Sophia Pua on our bench, but hopefully... I hoped they might have played a bit at the weekend, but they did have Arsenal, didn't they? So, I don't know. Do we think she's going to get more minutes at London City?
Probably not. I hope she does, but she didn't play the first game back. The first game she was there, she was.
I was very confused for a hot second because I completely forgot she'd gone out on loan.
I was going to say, this wasn't the first time you heard it, though, right? So I wasn't.
No, I knew she was. I knew she'd gone out on loan. I just was completely had forgotten entirely.
Well, hey, they're against Sunderland at the weekend, so maybe she comes into goal.
I think she's enjoying being reunited with Daphne Van Domselaar in London.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I
miss those two. They were just great besties. It's great. Loved it. I feel like I've been on alcohol tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Do you need a nap?
Yes.
We're nearly done. Don't worry.
It's half term soon. That's why. Just
all of my pupils, some of them broke up today, which I was like, oh, you've got a Friday off
tomorrow.
Amazing as that. But yeah, no, it's nearly the end. Don't worry. Don't worry. You can go to bed soon. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, Tracy, we've got some fan club scarves. Tell the people.
So fan club scarves, player scarves.
Bear with.
We've got all the players now. So before Christmas we had 7 players. They sold really well. But now we've expanded and we've got all the players on our fan club player scarves. If you go onto Facebook, you can get the link for the fan club shop. They're only £12. Why not buy yourself a new scarf? They're great. Aren't they, Fran?
No, I ran to get it to show people.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
Great quality.
They're really fluffy. They're nice and fleecy.
You can't get anything like this in the shop.
No. So I bought a Dree one.
There you go.
Name on one side.
Name on one side and a slogan on the other.
Yeah, she's magic on the ball.
She's magic because she is, isn't she?
She is.
Audrey. You've got it's a caricature. It's like a cartoon version of the face. It's not a photo.
They are indeed.
But they're very, very lifelike, and it's got the
on the other side.
fan club badge on the other side. £12 bargain. All the profits go towards the Aston Villa Women Fan Club away travel fund, making away travel cheaper and more accessible for all.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I need to go demonstrate what's going on. But yes, no, bargain. So if you would like one, there is a link on the fan club Facebook page that any of us can direct people to if you'd like to. And yeah, they're selling really well. People are really enjoying them. So if you would like one, they are available. And we've even had other fan clubs, haven't we, comment on how wonderful they are?
Yeah, they wanted to know where we got them from because they think they're ace and they want to do something similar for their club. So, yeah.
We're starting
Brilliant. We are. Player scarves. Also, as well, before we go, don't forget that as a fan club, we organise away travel, as you know. And the last away day of the season, we started a trend last year. We started, we went in fancy dress for the last away game of the season last year, which obviously is a tradition that the men have held for quite a few years, going away in fancy dress for the last away day. As far as I'm aware, it's never been done before in the women's game. We did it for the first time last year. It was brilliant. We had a full coach load we had Scooby-Doo, we had Tinky Winky, we had everybody. Yeah. And we're doing the same thing again this year. So if you fancy coming in fancy dress for the last away game of the season, you don't have to travel with us. But if you want to, it's a really good laugh on the coach. But if you just fancy coming in fancy dress, if you're driving up yourself or going by some other means, then get involved. It'll be a really good day out. And hopefully we'll win as well.
Is it West Ham this year?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd love a London, really far south trip for the last game of the season. At Arsenal 2 years ago, and then Brighton last year.
Yeah, and now West Ham. Yeah.
It was a brilliant day last year. It was really good. It was lovely. The weather was nice. Everybody was in fancy dress. We won. It was a really good. We even had the players in the crowd with us, taking photos with us, all in fancy dress. It was really good.
It was good. Yeah. I'm trying to decide. Baby's first away match.
I think so.
Get some little lead defenders. If Georgie's watching, Georgie, have a think about it and let me know if we can get away with it. But yes, do come and join us. It's a fantastic day out. As is every match with us all, of course. Now, is there any final things anyone would like to say before we go for the evening? I think I've said everything that was on my list. Let's have a look. Yep, good. No, are we all happy?
It's been a pleasure as always, Freya.
It has. Thank you kindly, Tracy. Lovely to see you. And of course, we've got some things going on in the background, some very special things as well that we can't wait to talk to you about. And they'll be coming to you very, very soon.
Exciting.
I just got a text off Georgie. I am watching. Okay, good. Hey, get the viewer numbers up. Right.
So about the ear defenders, Georgie? Can't you make it happen?
Yeah.
The ones, claret and blue. Yeah,
claret and blue ones.
Defenders,
yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need to do. It's gonna be fantastic. But yes, thank you so much to everyone who's watching, listening, catches us on playback and all of those wonderful things. Now I'm gonna play the little video that's got all of our socials on. But yeah, come and like, subscribe, follow, share, turn your notifications on. We're also on, the Aston Villa Women Fan Club across socials, the whole 115 yards on socials, as we are a joint presentation of the two. So thank you very much, everyone. Good evening. And I'll play us out with a nice little thank you video. So thank you, good evening, and
bye, everyone.